Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm Verity, I'm a TV reporter at The Mirror, and I'm here with Mark Jeffries, who is our showbiz editor. And we're going to be discussing I'm a Celebrity. It's the penultimate episode tonight, unfortunately. And so last night we lost AJ and Mo. Do you think, was that a surprise or was that kind of expected, do we think?
No, I think it was pretty expected. I mean, on the Facebook show yesterday, me and Vicky pretty much called it, so I'm pretty pleased with that we got it right. I think in terms of who was left in there, they were probably the most likely people. Mo was getting a sort of growing fan base, but I think if you were looking on social media, some people have been saying AJ should go for the last couple of nights, so it was definitely no surprise that he went.
Yeah.
And I think probably the right result, that we've got the right people left, do you think?
Yeah, I think AJ got a little bit lost in there with all the big personalities. I feel like we only really saw him when he was quabbling over the pans and stuff. And Mo, I think, was a great addition. But yeah, we're down to the wire now, and I think the biggest personalities are left. Although I must say I'm still in shock that Bev got voted out, because I really thought that she would be there all the way to the end. But yeah, I think the final four, I would probably say that you could have expected it, right? Like, when you look back to the beginning, it's not a huge surprise.
No, I guess the big surprise, if you were doing sort of, when you look at them on paper, perhaps before the show started, I think the big surprise is really that Jordan's there, because to be honest, people like myself or people who don't listen to Radio 1 very much, we didn't really know who Jordan was. So I don't think wouldn't have necessarily had him down to get to the final four. As soon as the show started, you know, he was front and center, wasn't he? Those first few episodes, being sick, doing trials. And he was also very good with Bev. So I think once it started, you could see him very much as being a potential finalist. But perhaps before the show started, he would be, for me, the big surprise in terms of getting right to the end.
Yeah, he's sort of become the nation's sweetheart. And I think he is probably my winner. And he's also probably who I expect to win, although I wouldn't be surprised if Shane won. Who do you think deserves to win, and who do you think will win?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've named the right people there. I think Shane maybe arguably deserves to win. He had that run of doing all those terrible trials. I think he worked really hard in there. And I feel like for him, it's quite a big deal. He's not maybe had as much TV coverage. He's not been on TV very much in recent years.
That's true, yeah.
It feels like could be a big comeback moment for him. We could be seeing him on our screens a lot next year. So I sort of think in some ways he deserves to win. I think last few days it seems to have been between Jordan and Giovanna in terms of who's actually going to win. Jordan's now the odds-on favourite, and I think he probably will win. A lot of it, I really think it might come down to the last trial tomorrow. They all do individual trials on the last day, and I think sometimes that's quite pivotal. If there's always one who gets the best trial, or what is seen as like the trial that everyone remembers in the final. And say if Jordan gets the eating one and it's quite a spectacle, that might be enough to sort of push him over. Equally, if Giovanna maybe gets the best trial and does really well and is really brave, perhaps it's going to be enough for her to win.
Yeah, because I mean, Giovanna's obviously lovely and people really like her. I feel like she hasn't maybe been like as funny. Like, I can foresee Jordan being like so funny tomorrow that people end up voting for him. Whereas I think Giovanna's sort of getting by on the fact that she's just such a lovely person. But we will see. Somebody's asked, does this finish tonight? It finishes tomorrow on Friday, I believe, is the final episode, right? And there's no reunion or anything.
No, unfortunately, because of COVID, there's no reunion show or anything. Normally we'd get a show in a week's time. And actually some of the contestants have been talking about, let's meet up next week, because obviously they're not aware of the outside world, how, you know, there's been lots of lockdown and lots of tears now. So unfortunately, I don't think there'll be any reunion probably until the new year in reality. So yeah, the final show, the only show really, is tomorrow night. There's a 95-minute show, and that's when we'll find out third, second and first, basically.
Yeah, and it's going to be an action-packed show. We've got the Celebrity Cyclone, which everyone has been looking forward to. On Twitter, people are so excited about this. So we've got a little preview of that we can have a look at.
Here
That looks like pure hell on earth.
I think it's brilliant. I'd love to have a go at that. We always try and hope when we do the cyclone in Australia. The big difference here, though, is two big differences. One, as David's pointed out, it does look better in the dark. It's the first time they've ever done it at night, which I think looks spectacular. They've obviously got luminous balls and stuff like that. And also it's in Wales, which must be absolutely freezing.
Yeah.
The idea of doing that and all that water is probably close to zero.
Yeah, and they can't dry off. They've got absolutely nowhere to. They're probably just going to have to go back soggy to the camp, I presume.
I mean, from that clip, though, it does look like Vernon's taken the lead. He's got the hardest job to get to the top. I imagine, Verity, I know you're a big fan. You're probably going to be watching that clip back.
Yeah, I will. I was just very closely. Obviously, he's got the Lycra on, which I'm personally just a big fan of him in. And I will be missing him from my screen, sadly. I might have to start watching some sport and see if I can watch him doing that.
I think potentially it's a really good trial for Vernon. If you believe the betting, it is between Vernon or Shane to go tonight. And if this trial is shown early enough in the episode when voting's still open, you can see there he's powering towards the top there. You know, it could be a vote winner for him. It might get him through to the final. Then who knows? Maybe he won't just be your king; he'll be everyone's king of the castle.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's probably got the athletic advantage there. I don't know how much that really gets you through, but it looks physically very difficult. So perhaps that does give him an advantage. Yeah,
he used to play American football, and it sounds a bit weird, but the way he's sort of running there, I can see that maybe that has come in useful. I think we see at the bottom, Giovanna and Shane are the ones taking the bottom 2 stars. They tend to be easy. You've just basically got to hold on and shiver at the bottom. And then Jordan is clumsy, but I think he'll get there in the end. I think Vernon's probably gonna bring it home. I reckon they're probably gonna do this one.
Yeah. Kyle's asked, where do the big balls go after the cyclone? Just to keep in with the topic that we always seem to get onto on these chats, which is balls.
Well, if I can get one for him, I'll throw it at his head, hopefully. Or perhaps I better get one signed, banned and decked for him because I know he's a big fan. So.
Yeah, he would love that. I think he'd love that. So what has been your highlight, would you say, of the series, if you had to pick 1 or 2 things?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think in many ways it might just be sort of Jordan's journey, maybe. The fact that I like the way that sometimes this show can get people who maybe aren't known certainly by all of the 10 million that watch it. And, you know, they create these new characters. And I think in Jordan's case, that's really going to happen. I could definitely imagine him doing lots of TV shows and stuff in the future. So I think probably just his general sort of, welcoming Jordan to the TV world, really.
Yeah, I agree. I think mine, I've got a few. It would be Jordan, just in general, him being sick, him falling off the bench backwards is something I really enjoyed. Everything Bev Callard said, I thought she was such a good campmate. And also Shane and Jessica's drinking trial, I thought that was so funny. I just absolutely loved that. I think it's been a really fun series. It hasn't been so full of drama, and there's obviously not been the big fights that we had like last year and the year before, but it's been a nice series that perhaps maybe we needed this year.
Yeah, I think had it been in Australia, like you say, had it been a different year in Australia, I think there would maybe be criticisms that there weren't enough arguments and stuff. But like you say, because of the year we've had, you can probably have just a nice series is okay, and then perhaps next year we can get back to some rows or some romance. I'd really like to see a castle or a jungle romance. So hopefully maybe next year we'll get one of those again.
Yeah, that was something that was missing this year, I think. I've absolutely loved it. I think it's been a great series. So if that's all the questions, then I think we can wrap up here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Enjoy tonight's episode, and we'll see you soon.